Yeah, with several states set to restrict or ban abortions, the decision is likely to impact millions of Americans.
CBS 8's Rocio de la Fe joins us now live from Escondido City Hall, where pro-choice advocates are rallying. It's one of many protests, as we've seen, that have taken place since that ruling. Rocio.
Yeah, that's right. This is a scene here from Escondido. As you can hear, people are very upset over the court's ruling. It's part of many gatherings taking place across Southern California this weekend, including the United States, since yesterday's decision. Earlier, we spoke to a legal analyst who breaks down what this decision means and the potential legal challenges that could come next.
We will vote! We will vote!
The highest court in the land has ruled there is no constitutional right to an abortion. Friday's ruling sending shockwaves across the nation, with protests erupting in cities everywhere.
My body, my choice!
But now many want to know what's next. Professor of law at California Western School of Law, William Aceves, says it's all up to the states.
So what will happen now is we're going to actually see in practice how these states are going to interpret their own state legislation and then act accordingly. And so as to your question about who might be subject to criminal liability, it depends on the state and their domestic legislation.
But Aceves says it won't come without challenges.
The challenge, of course, is going to be how much power do states have to regulate the ability of women in their jurisdictions to leave those states to seek reproductive health care assistance in other jurisdictions, in other states. And that's probably going to be one of the future battlegrounds for litigation.
Aceves says it's also possible for the court to look into other rights. This comes after Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas said the court should reconsider future cases, including same-sex marriage, contraception rights, and even the right to parents to control the upbringing of their children.
All of those rights, at least under Justice Thomas's approach or perspective, would no longer be subject to heightened constitutional protection.
Aceves says even if the court was to reconsider future cases, it would take years.
Any decision that would impact these other fundamental rights would take some time to work their way through the legal process. And so we would have ample notice before those cases were ever presented to the court, and we would have an opportunity to respond during the litigation process.
And again, it's worth noting that if the Supreme Court were to decide to take on another case, it could be years before that happens. But many of the people here tonight believe it won't just stop at abortion. Rocio de la Fe, CBS 8 News.
Thank you for that live report, Rocio. One of our newest additions to CBS 8 and diving right in. Thank you for that.